Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast in Game 1 in a series between XiXi and TeD, playing under the name Tatsu's Sharky, and here on Nomad Isle, I believe 1.2, good luck the world's best undead. That is perhaps high praise coming in from your opponent, but then again, anytime you can praise your opponent, things just, and you beat them, you just look that much better, don't you? Like, anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at this. TeD spawning as the yellow undead player on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Night Elf spawning here at what I'll call the 5 o'clock position on Nomad Isle. But that's really true. One of the things that I really don't understand about gaming culture is the need to trash talk and really just diminish someone else's skills. Wouldn't it actually be better to say, like, you play someone, you beat them, to like, oh yeah, they're really, really good. They're a really good player. And then, like, but didn't you beat them? I'm like, yeah, I beat them, but they're a really good player, right? Like, not only does it make you sound a bit more mature, you also recognize that you're better than them without really, you can pat your own ego, call it what you will, as things do get underway. Anyways, let's take a look at what's going to be happening here. Night Elf should be spawning up an Archer, trying to take down this Null Overseer creep camp. It is a 5-3-3, should get the Demon Hunter if it is a Demon Hunter. No, Warden. So Warden to perhaps level, almost level 2. Meanwhile, it is going to be a Death Knight. Warden, one of those heroes that actually works out very well against Undead. Once you get your Avatar of Vengeance, what I often like to see is the Avatar of Vengeance running inside the opponent's base and then taking skeletons from the graveyard and having those skeletons turn on the Undead army. That is a viable strategy, as we are seeing the Ancient of War already tanking a bit of damage. Oh, this is a 5-3-1 creep camp. Will not be super close to level 2. Will just be a little bit further away. Perhaps we'll need a little bit more experience there. As you can see that the Null Overseer is going to get taken down here. There's a ghoul in the backfield, but that has to be careful, as you do not want a ghoul running into... Oh, there goes a rabbit. The ghoul doesn't like the rabbit. We'll be feeding on that in just a moment. There's the Shadow Strike, and that's what you have to be worried about and concerned about. Shadow Strike does slow things down a bit, but beautiful blocking by the Undead Death Knight. The Death Knight did get Unholy Aura first, so it is slightly faster and will not be able to catch up. Alright, that Death Knight has taken a bit of damage. There is that Rod of Necromancy already being used there, as the Death Knight now wanders around. Dust of Appearance also picked up. That one very low hit point Archer has to be careful. Oh, a Shadow Strike onto the Death Knight to slow him down, to save that Archer. Archer down to 200 some odd hit points now after drinking some Moonwell juice. Meanwhile, skeletal minions chasing after a Wisp. If you did not know, I'm going to tell you again. The Wisp is the only unit in the game, only worker in the game that has a standard movement speed or normal movement speed. Everyone else does walk a little bit slower, but then again, Wisp do have significantly less hit points than their other worker counterparts. So far, Death Knight is wandering around in here with skeletal minions and a lone ghoul. Archer trying to get up to level 2 here. Should get to level 2. That's a level 3 creep. Yes. Oh, Tome of Agility. You got to pick that up if you are the Warden. That is +2 attack right there. And I don't know why that isn't happening now, as we are looking at a massive skeletal minion ghoul army now making their way inside, going after those moonwells that are still being constructed. Meanwhile, the Warden did pick up that tome and now needs to make her way over here in just a second. Archer's now coming in as well. There's the cancellation, as we are now looking at a Warden sitting at level 2. Could get off a Fan of Knives or something to try and really diminish some of that damage. So far, there is a detonation, as we are now going into more Ancient of Wars. Another Ancient of War could get taken down. TeD really bringing down the pain here in this fight. But fighting against a Warden when they are inside their base is a rather dangerous proposition, as that Warden has plenty of mana. Not quite sure what's going on here, but the Death Knight is just really chasing after all of these ghouls, hoping to get surround. There's a Shadow Strike there, as we are going to be looking at another ghoul getting taken down. I believe, yes, there it goes. The Warden getting a little bit closer to level 3. Is it going to work as the archers are now trying to scramble and run away? There's another Shadow Strike, and this is why you do not fight against a Warden inside the base. You can see that the archers have been able to focus down many of the units, and also, I don't believe TeD knows about that second Ancient of War. He knows about one, but I think he thought that this Ancient of War was the one that he was fighting against earlier, as the Warden tries to catch up to this ghoul. Is it going to get his ghoul? Oh, just out of sight for just a moment. Meanwhile, back down over here, one archer does go down. Death Knight finally on the board with some experience. Let's see what's going to be happening next as all the archers are trying to run away. The Warden did get a ghoul, now may be able to get off another one as well. As you can see that the archers are just running around, and it looks as though the pathing is just not working right. Dust of Appearance has not even been used once yet, as the archer is finally going to get taken down. There you have it. There's some more damage. That is a ton of ghouls, though. The Warden needs to get back home, and in a hurry. Everything is moving so fast, as the Warden is now running back here. Plenty of moon juice in those moon wells. You can see 2 Ancient of Wars are uprooted, ready to fight. A third one is now eating, and a fourth one. So XiXi was expecting this type of ghoul strategy. A perfect counter. And XiXi, if he knows what he's doing here, should be able to come out ahead. The problem is that these archers are simply on the wrong side of the map. They are out of position, and the Death Knight, with its fast movement speed, should be able to just run in here, chase after all of these archers. If the archer tries to perhaps go after something else, as we now see, oh, the Warden, level 3, there is the Dust of Appearance. The Warden, oh, blinks out. Beautiful blink. At level 3, 2 experience over. Beautifully done to really save that Warden there. Alright, that's going to see what's happening. Oh, the Warden could get surrounded again. Does have plenty of mana. Alright, gonna Shadow Meld. Oh, blinks out again, as the Dust of Appearance, I guess, was still on that Warden. The Warden moving very fast, but still needs Boots of Speed to keep up with everything else. Alright, the archers are doing a complete marathon around the map. 1 lap equals 1 mile, I guess, so to speak. As we are now looking at the Death Knight, the Null Overseer, and these ghouls engaging. Death Knight should get to level 2 here very easily. Warden already at level 3, but the Warden is low on mana, and without the Ancient of Wonders, that means that those Moonwells will stay pretty barren for a little while longer. You can see, though, that there is what is that? Ancient of War here. Another Ancient of War tanking off over here, as well as the Warden is already up to 700 mana, or 700 hit points, and it looks to get even stronger. This Ancient of War needs to eat some more trees to replenish his cell count, so to speak. We can see Troll Berserkers and Troll Shadow Priests have now been picked up. Warden picking up a Talisman of Evasion. Very effective. Almost simply as effective as a Ring of Protection +3, but we are now looking at the Death Knight, the ghouls, now looking to make their way over as well. Ancient of War shows 27/50 supply for the Night Elf army. Undead sitting at 36/40. There is the Shadow Strike, a beautiful amount of damage there. 150, so no fan of knives did get Shadow Strike and blink. So a shadow striking blinking Warden is always very scary. These ghouls, however, rather slow. Oh, a Troll Berserker gets completely surrounded, as we are now going into ghouls. Alright, ghouls, the unit of choice. Ghouls and gargoyles, oh my. It looks like as though archers will get taken down. Mud Golem did get picked up here, as we are now looking at what the Death Knight is doing against that Warden. There is another Shadow Strike there. Potion of Healing quickly used to try and get back up. Does stay alive a little bit longer, as the Warden now needs to head back home, rather low on hit points, and has no way of attacking air. Ghouls trying to get in front. Is it going to get a surround on this Warden? Oh, it could be a 4-unit surround, as there is the Death Coil saving a ghoul there. Alright, the Death Knight sitting at level 2, Warden sitting at level 3. There's a race going back home. So much damage to be had, as the Warden is now surrounded once again. Does break free somehow, as the Ancient of War is standing upright to try and beat down on more of those ghouls. Meanwhile, gargoyles in the air, what are they going to be doing next? They're going to be taking down a free Ancient of War, as XiXi is sitting at 27/60, quickly roots itself to reduce much of the damage from the piercing and also from the Death Knight. However, the ghouls are more than enough to take down this Ancient of War here. as the Death Knight inches closer to level 3. Alright, artificial nighttime, or I guess eclipse, moon eclipse there. We are now looking at what the Warden is going to be doing next. The Warden sitting at level 3 with level 2 Shadow Strike does not really have enough firepower to take down all of those gargoyles. We are now looking at Ancient Protectors and Ancients of Lore coming into play. Gargoyles are one of those units that are just so effective against Night Elf, because hippogriffs do not do well against them. The gargoyles themselves are very strong anti-air units, so trying to counter air with air doesn't work there, as, oh, Death Knight going after the Warden. The Warden does have, I believe, yes, Talisman of Evasion, able to dodge a little bit more again. And let's see what's going to be happening here. All right, is he going to perhaps take down another unit? I do believe so. There's 150 damage there, as the Warden, now dangerously low on hit points, does have a lightning shield, but cannot cast it on herself. All right, the Dryads have to be careful. The Dryads and the Gargoyles, both of them deal serious damage to each other. Both of them are unarmored. Both of them also deal piercing damage. Gargoyles slightly winning out on that front. As you can see, one Dryad already taken down, a second Dryad already taken down, and now we see that Ancient Protector. 45 to 54 piercing damage. Problem with fighting inside a Night Elf base is the buildings themselves start attacking you. Death Knight already at 4, Warden now at 3, and TeD looks like he's going to be able to simply walk into this base and take it down, even though there is so much defense. We are looking at, I believe, a Tree of Eternity trying to go into that upgrade, but without the Tree of Eternity, we don't have an Orb of Venom on that Warden. And without the Orb of Venom on the Warden, that is pretty much gonna be GG right there. Level 4 on the Warden now. The Warden is a bit stronger. Could try to get off a Fan of Knives. Does have that Orb of Venom now. Looking to finish off the rest here. It looks like just mass gargoyles coming in. What are we going to see? No lightning shield from the Warden, as we now see Dryad trying to join in on the fight. The Warden did get in a little bit of piercing damage there. We could get more Wardens, as well as you see that the Warden is taking so much piercing damage and doesn't have any real way of countering it. Ancient of Lore is still taking a bit of damage. Back over here, no hiring from the mercenary camp at all. You need to see perhaps some more medium armor piercing units, as the Warden still having a very difficult time. We need to see perhaps Breath of Fire on a Panda, in addition to the Orb of Venom and Fan of Knives on the Warden there. The Warden needs to definitely get retrained. This massive gargoyle strategy just completely destroying XiXi here. TeD showing why he is the #1 undead player in the world. There currently is no question about it, I believe. You can argue with me, but I guess you then again you could be wrong. Let's go ahead and go back into this, as the gargoyles are still tearing away at a whole bunch of Dryads and archers. You can see that the Warden doing her best to try and fend off this attack here. The archers are still making their way back. The Death Knight, with that Unholy Aura level 2, is doing a great job staying alive and keeping all of these gargoyles alive as well. That additional health regeneration, the Warden needs to get some extra mana, really drains off all of those Moonwells there. There's a Shadow Strike, as another Ancient Protector gets taken down before it is operational. Warden still running around in circles here. Ancient of Lore, 34 over 60 supply that is being shown. As you can see that the Warden, Gargoyle down to 68 hit points, taking a lot of damage, down to 31. One more shot and it will get taken down. Let's see what's happening next. There's another Shadow Strike, 150 damage, plus that additional 30 damage over time. That could start to add up. You can see another Ancient of Lore about to get taken down here. No Panda is really the problem. No AoE. Blinks, wow, Blinks just in time, but was really hoping to get another gargoyle shot there for perhaps, and then try to get to level 5. All right, let's take a look. There is a gargoyle in stone form, and once stone form comes into play, I don't believe XiXi has a chance. A for effort, but this is all going to fall apart. Gargoyle after gargoyle is getting taken down, though. I don't believe it's going to matter. 32 supply. over 60 against what I gotta believe is close to 48 for TeD. TeD sitting at 40, never mind. So it is a very, very even fight here, 30 to 60, as even as a 30 to 60 fight can be, as another gargoyle gets taken down. The Warden now sitting at level 5, does have level 3 Shadow Strike, and level 3 Shadow Strike is a huge amount of damage. All right, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Let's see what's going to be fighting here as the Warden still going after all these units. More gargoyles still coming in. The Warden can quickly Shadow Meld here, as the Dryads are now looking to all back off. One lone gargoyle could get focused down. The Warden going after the Death Knight. Oh, beautiful, beautiful Potion of Lesser Invulnerability just as the missile was incoming, as the Warden is now forced to try and run away. All right, what is going to be happening here? The Warden should most likely sell that Lightning Shield. It is not useful at all. Needs to get more Moonwells filled up. Perhaps getting the upgrade. Yes, Wellspring upgrade. How did I call that? Getting that Wellspring upgrade. Level 5 now on that Warden compared to level 5 on that Death Knight, who is getting very close to level 6. We are at Black Citadel, and are we even going into a second hero yet? No, and we are at 48 over 50 supply, so it doesn't look like we will be going into a second hero. It's been quite some time since I've seen a lone undead hero, and TeD is just playing this game so incredibly well. As we're now looking at the Warden. Oh, what is she doing? She is hoping to get around the map, sells a Talisman of Evasion, buys a Tome of Retraining, and uses it. And now what is going to be happening next? All right, trying to pick up some items, sells another items there. Staff of Teleportation. Will she be able to get away? No, does not get away in time. The Warden, I don't think I can rewind that. But I think yeah, that was just absolutely, absolutely devastating for XiXi. I gotta believe that there was a death coil somewhere that just didn't hit, and that was it. Gargoyles now just destroying the base. Unholy Aura level 3 most likely. Yep, most undead players do not like the ultimate on that hero. We are trying to get more gold still. 633, 673, there you go. Now the Warden is back in play, but with no mana, I don't know what that Warden can really do. Fan of Knives could be successful, but with Death Coil, it's not going to amount to very much. The Warden tries to blink in here, get some extra mana. Oh, Fan of Knives. No, not even enough for a Fan of Knives, as the Warden now tries to get away. There's a Death Coil, and oh, it goes down again. There's the GG. Game 1 going to TeD in an explosive fashion. It was very, very close up until the Warden died. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.